Hi friends, welcome to Storytime. I am so excited about what we're going to talk about today. With Easter last weekend, we talked so much about the Easter Bunny and eggs and egg hunts and all things eggs. But sometimes when we're talking about eggs for an Easter egg hunt, we forget what an egg really is. And so today's story time is all about eggs. And I have 3 books that I'm going to show you. I'm not going to read all 3. I'm going to show you these books, and we're going to talk a little bit about sequencing because eggs are a perfect thing to think about when we're talking about sequencing or putting things in order, like summarizing. So the first book I'm going to share with you is Egg by Kevin Henkes. And look at these beautiful birds, and they're just waiting by the egg. Eggs also teach us a lot about patience because you have to wait for the egg to crack and open. Egg by Kevin Henkes. Egg. Crack, crack, crack. Egg. Surprise! Goodbye. This is another good book where we have to look at the pictures. So one egg, nothing is happening, but the other 3 eggs have cracked, and then these birds are already flying off. Waiting, 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 waiting. Sometimes it's so hard to be so patient. Listen. What do you think they're listening for? I think they're listening inside the egg to see if there's anything moving. Peck, peck, peck. Peck, peck, peck. Peck, peck, peck. Crack. So something is moving inside. Surprise! Oh man, what's inside that egg? That doesn't look like a bird, does it? I think sometimes we forget that other animals come from eggs and not just birds. Oh, alone, sad, lonely, miserable. What does miserable mean? Can you tell by looking at his face what miserable might mean? Miserable means so sad and upset. The birdies. No. Looks like they're all being friends. Friends. And this is one of those books where you really have to watch the pictures to know the whole story because there's not any words on this page, but you can tell what's happening. The end. So this is a good book to talk about sequencing because the egg happens first. So the egg is laid by the animal. So in this case, it's a bird egg or an alligator egg. So you have the egg, and then you wait. Waiting, 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 waiting. You have to be really patient. And depending on the animal, some animals take a lot longer to hatch, and some animals hatch pretty quickly. So we wait, we wait, we wait. Crack. This is a sign of what? When there's a crack in the egg, what is that a sign of? That's a sign that an animal is going to come out of the egg. Surprise! So this is a perfect way to sequence, and I just took the pictures from the story to help me. So if you're trying to sequence or summarize a story, you can go back and look through the pictures with what happened first what happened first, what happened next, then, and last. Now we're going to read a story. So that was a fictional story, meaning that that was just a made up fun story. Now we're going to read a beautiful book called An Egg is Quiet. And what I love about this author is that she writes a lot of books like this about different things, like butterflies and rocks and different kinds of things that are outside. What I really also like about this book is that you can read it two different ways. You can read just the big print, or you can read the big print and the small print. But I'm going to read just the big print to you, and then if you want to read the small print too, you can get it at the library, or maybe it's a book you would really like for your collection at home. So An Egg is Quiet by Diana Hutz Aston. And I'm going to show you some really cool things about this book. Like, see, she labels everything. See how she has really detailed labels? So for example, this egg, which isn't an egg we typically see, is a black-necked stilt. So if you're curious what the beautiful eggs are, or look at this beautiful page. Look at all these different eggs. And she labels all of them. Like, this is an emperor penguin, and this is a hummingbird, and this is a catbird, and this is a katydid. So she labels everything. An egg is quiet. An egg is quiet. What does that mean? I think that it's not just that the egg is quiet, but it has to do with waiting and being patient. It sits there under its mother's feathers, on top of its father's feet, buried beneath the sand, warm, cozy. Eggs have to be warm. An egg is colorful. Look at all those beautiful eggs. An egg is shapely. Look at these different egg shapes. And then when you get this book, you can read more details. Look at the different egg shapes. An egg is clever. What does clever mean? That's a cool word. Clever means that you're like kind of tricky in a good way. And so what she's talking about is that these rocks all are kind of gray and speckled, and this clever egg is hiding, and it looks just like the rocks. So clever. Eggs come in different sizes. Itty bitty eggs, really big eggs. An egg is artistic. Look at the beautiful eggs. An egg is textured. What does textured mean? What a cool word. Textured means that it feels different. So this is a really smooth egg, and this is like rough, like sandpaper. And then this is gooey. So it's how the egg feels. An egg might even be fossilized. Fossilized. A fossil is something that's so old that it's like set into a rock. It's the remains of a creature from long ago. So this egg is so old that it's fossilized. An egg is giving. Can you see this page? it shows the egg at the very beginning and what it turns into. So this is a salmon egg and how it looks over time until it's the actual animal that we're thinking of, or a chicken egg. What happens in the egg until it's a chicken? An egg is quiet. Then suddenly, an egg is noisy. Cheep, 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 cheep. Look at all those really cool birds that are born out of eggs. So if you want to learn more about eggs, you can read this really cool book. And then another really cool book, who is one of my favorite authors and illustrators, is Steve Jenkins and his wife, Robin Page. They make some really cool books. And this one is called Egg. And like I was saying before, we often think that birds are the only animals that come from eggs, but actually lots of animals come from eggs. Let's take a sneak peek at this book. And he calls eggs nature's perfect package. I'll read this introduction to you. Butterflies, frogs, sharks, all begin life as an egg. So does almost every other animal. The eggs of some creatures, including most mammals, are nurtured inside their mother's body, where they develop into babies that are born alive. But many more animals lay their eggs, either one at a time, by the dozen, or by the millions. Eggs come in a fantastic range of sizes, shapes, and colors. Animals that lay eggs bury them, carry them, guard them, or simply leave them alone. And each egg contains everything needed to create a new living creature. What is so cool about his books is he was actually a kind of artist called a graphic designer, meaning that he had a job where he designed graphics. And then he had a kid like you and decided, I could make really cool books with my graphic design skills. So for example, he shows you all the eggs and then the creatures that come out of those eggs. And he talks about different kinds and sizes of eggs. He shows you a dinosaur egg. Look at this elephant bird from thousands, millions of years ago. Then he talks about how animals decide where to lay their eggs. How many eggs animals lay, because some animals just lay one egg and other animals lay hundreds of eggs. How animals protect their eggs. Did you know there was so much to know about eggs? How they carry their eggs. Look at this squid carrying the eggs. 3,000 eggs all at once, the squid carries them. So if you want to learn a lot about a topic, I highly recommend Steve Jenkins because he teaches you so much about a simple topic, or what we think is a simple topic, like eggs. So I hope you learned a little bit more about eggs, and I hope you had a lot of fun last weekend with egg hunts and the Easter Bunny. But I wanted to give you a little more information using nonfiction texts that tell us real things about a topic. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about eggs, this book or An Egg is Quiet are such good books. I will see you next time, and I can't wait.